I left my boyfriend over laundry, and I have zero regrets. I, 28F, walked out on my boyfriend, 29M, of almost 2 years a week ago, and I'm never going back to him. Ever. I don't think owe him any more chances or explanations, nor do I owe his family any explanations. We had a really weird argument about the laundry. I just need to tell someone this, because some people in my life aren't getting it, and it's actually wild. My BF and I had moved in together 3 months ago. I know he was going to propose soon. I work in corporate world, he works in a trade. For 2 years almost, we've been living the 9-5, mostly life, taking weekend trips, vacations. We've made friends with each other's friends, gotten close with our families. Just normal kind of basic boring hitting the milestone stuff, totally in love. Then, a week ago, I'm sitting on our bed folding laundry. I was doing some of his too, because it was in the hamper. It's never been an issue. We share lots of chores. I'm not really a housewife, but we both keep things neat. He comes in and seems annoyed. He tells me in a strained voice that the way I fold his clothes is just, it's ridiculous and sloppy. For a minute, I'm kind of stunned because we've always talked things out in a reasonable way, and this was very different. But in that moment, I'm thinking, oh God, I'm moving into his place and it's only been a few months. This is a rough adjustment for couples. So, I apologize and tell him that I didn't know he had a way he likes his clothes folded. I'm not a great neat folder, so I'll let him fold them. And then things just flipped. He was a different person. He said, "Why are you saying it like that? I'll let you fold them. I'm not going to fold clothes that you're folding just because you're too lazy to learn to fold them." And it was like maniacal. The sentence started angry, then mocking. Then at the end he was laughing. Like me just not learning to fold his clothes in a specific way was ludicrous. I'm stunned, kind of scared. He grabs a shirt, and he's just in another world. He's talking me through this folding routine in a weird voice. He says, "There, it's perfect. It is perfect. Try it." And he tossed the shirt in my lap. "Try it. I just showed you how to do it. It isn't hard to do." I'm kind of frozen still, and I say, "Are you okay?" And he says, "You think I'm not okay over a fucking shirt? It's a shirt, who cares?" I'm kind of frozen still, and I say, "Are you okay?" And he says, "You think I'm not okay over a fucking shirt? It's a shirt, who cares?" He still didn't look right. I got up off the bed, and he says, "So, when we have kids, you aren't going to fold their clothes? Make them look nice so they have some self-respect, because I think that's really important." I said, "Well, I think that's really important too, but I hate folding clothes, so honestly, maybe you could fold their clothes." I said, "Well, I think that's really important too, but I hate folding clothes, so honestly, maybe you could fold their clothes." He got really red in the face. He started taking my clothes out of the clothes basket and folding them, and he's just talking at the wall saying, "Fine, that's okay. I'll fold all the clothes. Maybe then you'll have some fucking self-respect. All these nice clothes and you can't even fold them. It doesn't even make sense that you can't do this and you won't learn. Just don't touch the laundry. Ever. That's my thing. Fucking imagine your kids opening their drawer looking at a fucking mess of clothes, and that's what their life will fucking be." He got really red in the face. He started taking my clothes out of the clothes basket and folding them, and he's just talking at the wall saying, "Fine. That's okay. I'll fold all the clothes. Maybe then you'll have some fucking self-respect. All these nice clothes and you can't even fold them. It doesn't even make sense that you can't do this and you won't learn. Just don't touch the laundry. Ever. That's my thing. Fucking imagine your kids opening their drawer looking at a fucking mess of clothes, and that's what their life will fucking be." I'm terrified at this point because he's done a complete 180 from who I was living with literally 30 minutes before. I was scared he was having some kind of psychotic break. I tell him this is a bit much for me, and he says, "Yeah, I bet this is weird for you. My laundry obsession, my obsession with self-respect." So I go use the bathroom, and my stomach is flipping. I can hear him go to the laundry closet and throw the basket on the floor. I had never seen him throw something, ever before this. When I heard him go back to the bedroom, I quietly left the bathroom, grabbed my purse, and left. I got in my car and drove to my parents', and it felt so weird and surreal. Like some part of my brain was like danger, 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 and put itself in override mode. When I got to my parents' place about an hour away, they were really worried. And when I told them what had happened, my mom was like, "That's weird, but couples fight, especially when you live together. It's just new." My dad is a very eccentric person, very dilligaff, and he said, "At least you didn't get serial killed. Who would have known? Hide yo kids, hide you wife." My mom's name. If this freak calls you, his family members, she moved to Mozambique, I'm serious. My mom looks a little worried and asks me if I'm okay. Did he hurt me? Is he okay? Should we call his mom? My dad says don't call his mother, just call the cops to do a welfare check and don't give any details at all. He told us to lock the doors and he calls someone and took my car to a neighbor's garage for the night. My mom was like, "Really, Dad's name? I don't think it's that serious." But Dad was like, "Okay, it's not that serious then. Just putting her car inside. No room here." My dad is the shit, and so is my mom, but in her own ways. My mom looks a little worried and asks me if I'm okay. Did he hurt me? Is he okay? Should we call his mom? My dad says, don't call his mother. Just call the cops to do a welfare check, and don't give any details at all. He told us to lock the doors, and he called someone, and took my car to a neighbor's garage for the night. My mom was like, "Really? Dad's name? I don't think it's that serious." But Dad was like, "Okay, it's not that serious then. Just putting her car inside. No room here." My dad is the shit, and so is my mom, but in her own ways. So I bit the bullet and called my boyfriend. He picks up and is like, "Where did you go? It's just a fight over laundry. I'm over it. You looked so scared though. I was wondering when you'd get to see neurotic me." And he's just chuckling over this. So I told him I was scared. I had no idea he could react like this about things. And he started to get almost panicked, asking me who I told about this because he was working on it, and he expected me to understand. And it's embarrassing and personal, which I do empathize with. Mental health is hard. I tried explaining that if he had opened up about this, then we could have had some kind of strategy, and it wouldn't have been scary. And he's almost crying at this point, saying, I know. I fucking know this, but I love you, and it's so embarrassing." My brain again is just screaming, "No! No! 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 No!" And for whatever reason, I told him I didn't want to be with him anymore. He scared me, and there was no going back for me. He talked for about 10 minutes after that. Come back in a day. Come to therapy with me. Talk to my therapist. But when I didn't say yes to anything, he had that weird tone again. "Okay, fuck you then. You couldn't cut it. That's on you. My family is never going to fucking talk to you again. My sisters. Never. My friends. Never. No one is going to believe you left me over a shirt. Fucking ridiculous." I hung up. Emailed the landlord saying I was moving out of the apartment and planned to pick up my stuff the next day if someone could accompany me, and I'd give them my keys to give to BF. Dad says to turn my phone off and he'll take the day off tomorrow and live out my dream of cutting out all that bullshit in the Liam Neeson movies and save my kid before the shit goes down. Ha, who needs him? Street smarts, baby. Guys at work are going to wish they were me. I sent emails to work saying I'd be out of office. Turned my phone off. I was honestly reeling from this. Felt like I could throw up, but also really relieved. I sent emails to work saying I'd be out of office. Turned my phone off. I was honestly reeling from this. Felt like I could throw up, but also really relieved. Woke up the next day. 74 missed calls from BF. Voicemail full. Too many text messages to even read. Really insane texts like, "You know I'm going to get you back. I'll be everywhere you are. In a nice way. You won't be able to resist. How is this happening?" To oddly funny ones like, "Never threw a shirt before. Bucket list. Went to the apartment with Dad. Management said BF told them he'd kicked me out and I wasn't allowed back in, and he had made arrangements to get my stuff to me. So I called the non-emergency line. Police came and told them to let me in after I showed them ID, photos, texts, etc. We go up. One cop goes back to the car. I pack up the bare minimum, clothes, stuff, books, documents. I'm so creeped out, and I just don't care about anything that will take work to move out. The cop is saying nothing. My dad and I are packing up some dishes, and Dad starts talking. The cop comes in the kitchen and says, "I'd advise you guys to keep it quiet," and taps his ear like he's telling us someone could hear us. Then he mouths, "Cameras." My dad is like, "Lots of stuff in the world. Only one of each of us." GTFO. We get everything downstairs. Cops drive around to the parking garage, give us their cards, ask me if there was anything I wanted to declare. I told them we had a fight and BF just seemed so off and I was kind of scared. That's not illegal. Sounds like a mental health issue. Can understand why you left. Report anything if you feel unsafe. Then the cop who was upstairs told us sorry for rushing us, but he could see the cameras in the smoke alarms, and you never know if it's live or recorded or what. I had no idea there were cameras. Never even thought about it. Wouldn't someone tell their girlfriend of almost 2 years that they had security cameras? Who the hell was I dating all this time? It's been a week. I've gotten a new number phone because of the constant texting from random numbers. Plus my dad is convinced he could have put something on my phone. I feel like I'm hiding, working remotely, kind of nervous to go out, ordering grocery delivery. My really close friends are really shocked by this, but anyone else who it's come up with is like, that's so hard to believe. Is there something else going on with you? Everyone has cameras. Just live your life. His mom called my mom and said he was devastated and she couldn't imagine this was all over laundry. My mom filled her in a little, and all she said was, he must be so stressed and you know how it gets. His mom was always lovely, really funny and worldly, into her own things, but now I'm so paranoid, like, what did she know? My mom said she told her that he really scared me, and then the lie about kicking me out and the cameras were so weird, and then she said she had to be somewhere, said sorry to my mom, and said, tell me, it isn't her, and, well, I'm so sorry. And I knew he was getting some help with these things, but they don't really just go away, and I'll handle him. God, I am so creeped out, like this is an out-of-body experience. I had to let it out because it's so crazy, and life really is just a rug. It doesn't feel real, and it's like 2 years of my life just poofed out of existence.